Hello and welcome to yet another video, and in this video I would like to talk about my favorite, one of my favorite travel tripods of all time. Although I have this for less than a year, but I really like this tripod and I think it's really underrated. It's actually a Rollei brand, or if you're from America or other places but German speaking countries, you would pronounce it Rollei for some reason, but as a German brand it is Rollei. And this tripod is actually really good quality travel tripod, and you know, it's only 40 euros, and usually with 40 euros their tripods are not really as durable, as steady, as versatile, things like that. Whereas this 40 euros tripod is really rugged, really nicely built, and also has a lot of features that normal tripods at that price range don't usually have. But also that's also debatable which part of the world you're living in, because if you're living in Thailand where price is a lot cheaper, then you might be able to find it under 40 euros, like a lot of options under 40 euros. Anyway, into the video. So the reason I want to talk about this tripod is because I've been using it for several months now, actually almost half a year at this point, and I really like this tripod very much. Though I will be talking about the negative side, but then again, this is all very subjective, because the way I use my tripod and the way you probably use a tripod, it may be different, or to some extent very different, I guess. And you will have preferences, and I will have preferences from what I would use as my travel tripod, or as my tripod in general. I mentioned that it's one of my favorites because my all-time favorite is actually the Manfrotto B3 tripod. I'll talk about that later in the video. But you know, for the price of a Manfrotto B3 tripod, depending on where you live and depending on the version, you could get like 4 or 5 of this tripod. More of this tripod, I meant. Yeah. Anyway. First, I want to start with the build quality. The build quality of this thing is actually really sturdy. I don't own it for over 2 years, so I don't know if it really will go degrade after a while. But for the past few months, because I left my main tripod for shooting video here in Rotterdam, and I was in Germany for the most part, when I was going out shooting documentaries, whether it's outside in the field, in the farmland, and in the countryside, I actually relied on this tripod because of how small and versatile it is. So under those circumstances, I haven't really experienced any like degrading in the hardness or smoothness of these screws and things like that. And one thing I really like about this tripod is when you pack it up, it's really compact, and with a neck here, if you really need extra reach, you can extend it double the size of this neck, which is really nice. And you can also use this as a monopod. Sure, if you're a photographer, it might not matter as much because you will probably invest in a better monopod than this. But if you're a videographer, like shooting documentary, and you only have a budget you know, tripod laying around, a monopod can be a huge lifesaver, because you can just mount a telephoto lens on it and then get like somewhat smooth shot than just hand holding the telephoto lens and the camera, and after a while just, you know, have a lot of cheeky footage. And another thing I really like is, even though I'm invested into Manfrotto head for photography, I'm invested into Manfrotto head plates and everything, so I have a lot of those collections. So I don't have a lot of this, but I do have some tripods where it uses Arca Swiss head, and this is also an Arca Swiss head, which is very nice. And talking about head, there are 2 knobs here. One is to control the ball movement, which is essential. Every tripod has that. But unlike on my Manfrotto, which is, I'm kind of liking this now that I'm more used to it, I guess it's also something that you have to get used to, is you have this specific knob just to turn this part of the head. And this is very important if you're doing something like panorama, or if you forgot your video tripod at home and you need something to pan with, and like to do a smooth pan, because this is really a smooth pan. It feels almost like hydraulic, but I think it's just the oil and the screw inside making it very, very smooth. But if they have hydraulic in there, then it's really a good thing. But for now, it feels as smooth as hydraulic. Just I'm sure it's just oil coated screw in there. And on the bottom here, you also have the counterweight, because it is a travel tripod and it is light, though not as light as other cheap tripods where the wind can just probably blow you away if you're in some other windy countries like here in the Netherlands. But if you need that extra weight to hold, then you have this center column to hold the weight. And now going on to the negative part of the operational side of this tripod is, this is really a personal preference. I absolutely hate this these kind of knob tripods, because to me it's a much slower workflow than the actual knobs style. The screw knobs kind of thing is just, I can never know when I'm actually locked, like really locked, because it's just weird. Like there's no indication sometimes, and because there are 4 of them, that means it's, I don't know, like if, like to its credit, it holds it really steady if I only have the camera on there. But if there is a knob that I didn't really, you know, lock it properly, and I, you know, lean onto it with my arm or something on top of a camera, a heavy camera on here, then it will start sinking, and I will have to find out which knob it is. And yeah, with the actual clip-on knob, it's just, you know when you really lock it and you know when you unlock it. And also with this tripod, even though it's screw-on knob kind of thing, what I like about it is that unlike other budget or cheaper knob tripod legs, this one actually has a 2-step. So you, like when you lock it, it's kind of like 1 step, but when you feel unlocking it, there's this 2-step. So this step here, and then it's a little semi-stop, is it's still kind of locked, but, and you can kind of pull out a little bit, and then you do it the second round to completely unlock it. So in times if you don't really lock it properly, it will still hold, but if you put a little bit of your own weight on it, it might start sinking. So that's a little neat safety feature that I like, especially coming from a person who absolutely hates this design. It disgusts me with like all my heart. But in terms of the result of the how stable the tripod is, you kind of have seen in some of my vlog videos actually, where I went out at night taking pictures with this tripod. It's actually pretty nice. I live here in Rotterdam as well, and the weather is always so windy, especially at this time of the year, and it's just been amazing working with this tripod because it's super light, super small. I can put it in my messenger camera bag, and it's also very stable. I can show you some of the pictures right now, the sample pictures. But yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video because I will be going to Thailand tomorrow and will be staying there for the next month or so because, well, family stuff, and yeah, because I'm half Thai, half German, and yeah, so I'm just going there to visit my family. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you need a free photography guidebook, it's on my website. You don't need to write in your email, you don't need to pay for it. It's absolutely free, no commitment. And yeah, yeah, I just wanted to share this tripod because, yeah, about this tripod because I'm going to Thailand tomorrow again, and I will be taking this tripod, I think. Well, most likely I'll be taking this tripod because it is smaller than my B3 tripod, and it is able to handle something like a 5D Mark III and my other full frame cameras that I will be taking along with me as well. And yeah, thank you very much for watching and have fun shooting. Bye.